this out, y'all. I was watching the show Family Matters. I went through not episode, but season 3. Great show. It held up nicely in the test of time. I like the addition of Urkel. It brought a lot of flavor to the show. And I like how during the third season they start really tackling serious issues. But I want to talk about this one here. This is one of my favorite episodes. One of my favorite episodes was when the Dragons, which was a Chicago street gang, ran roughshod throughout Chicago. And people are wondering why. What happened? They jumped Eddie Winslow. Why did they jump Eddie? Why did they crash Rachel's place when they could have crashed anywhere else? I'm going to tell y'all why. Carl Winslow is really a dirty cop, y'all. That's right. Mr. Honey Winslow. He dirty, man. Because let me put y'all on to something. Look back at the time age with the 80s, the late 80s and the 90s. The late 80s and the 90s. There was a crackdown in the 80s on gangs. Most notably the Blackstone Rangers and the Gangster Disciples. Carl Winslow was in the forefront of that. He led the charge. Next to that racist white partner of his. You see him on the show. They cracked down on a lot of gangs in the 90s. They basically cleaned up Chicago in a way, but they took down one of the most influential leaders who was happy to make a change on some Jeff Fort type of tip. He's probably going to become a righteous Islam community activist type leader or something. And Carl took him down. And he's probably doing life right now. So, the young man that's the leader of the Dragons, Curtis, that's his daddy. That's right. Curtis is like, I'm going to form my own gang. And I'm going to get revenge on the Winslows. I'm going to run roughshod throughout the Chi-Town. Which they did. And that's a personal vendetta right there. Because of all the places, why would they choose Rachel's place? Why would they choose Rachel's place out of every restaurant in Chicago? It's to get back at Carl Winslow for what Carl did to his daddy. And Carl did a lot of dirt, man. Carl Winslow used to steal dope money from a lot of the criminals. Stole a lot of dope money and got that house built up on the south side. Let me tell y'all this. Why you think when Urkel used to destroy the house every episode, it gets fixed up like it's normal? The Winslows must got about a $10 million insurance policy or something. When Laura said she couldn't go to college, who came up with the money after? Carl put in that work. Locked up some bad guys, took they dope, beat a few niggas down with his white friend, and made it look like he was a wholesome family man when he came home. Man, them Chicago cops was dirty, B. So, young Curtis formed that gang as a revenge to go at Carl for what Carl did to his daddy. That's exactly what that's all about. And Carl Winslow is a dirty cop. Because you would sit back and think about it. Why, on top of that, would they attack Eddie Winslow? You attack Eddie Winslow out of all the people. Probably because Eddie Winslow was a player. Eddie Winslow probably stole his chick. So, you mix that. You mix jealousy with Eddie being a popular guy in school. And you mix the fact that Eddie's dad locked up Joe Daddy. These are the results right here, what you see on this screen here with Eddie getting beat down. It was gangsters. It was revenge. And then they spray painted their little logo on the wall, which looked like a gang disciples. So that was just something I wanted to analyze, man. Y'all pay attention to these Family Matters episodes. Your boy Carl Winslow, he the Black Giuliani of Chicago. He was putting in major work, locking up mad people, locking up mad hood dudes trying to make change. We got to do some more dirty work and investigating on that man. So be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Holla at your boy.